This is Mrs. Robertson, and this is our last review session before we take the test on geometry, Math 7. Today is the 16th. We're saying hi to Aiden. He's not here in third period. We're missing him. So Aiden, in case you are watching this video, we are all saying hi. Say hi, kids. Hi, Aiden. We really hope you get to see this. Now, we're going to focus and look at what we have to do on this. It's very similar to yesterday's worksheet. I just changed the numbers. So it says find the diameter, radius, and area of a circle, where our circumference is 131 and 88 millimeters. Well, and then we have formulas that we could use. Oh, this is a friendly formula because I know my circumference and I know what pi is. I just have one unknown, my diameter. So I can do that. I replace C with 131 and 88 hundredths. And that equals 3.14 times my diameter. Well, to figure out what the diameter is, we divide both sides by 3 and 14 hundredths. Now, when we do that, we get the answer of 42. 42 meters equals the diameter. Well, now we can do everything else. The diameter, 42 meters. Class, what's my radius? 21 meters. And the area, it will be 3.14 times my radius squared, 21 squared. Now that's 21 times 21. And that will give you the number 441. So 3.14 times 441 gives us the answer of 1,384. And if we round it to the nearest tenth, it'll be 7/10. 1,384 and 7/10 meters squared. Any questions on how to do this? That's a question on your test. We'll ask those three things. Everyone understands it? Thumbs up. Fabulous. Now, the next problem, it's the area of a parallelogram minus the area of a little rectangle. The area of the parallelogram is base times the height. So that will be 21 times 12. And when you multiply that out, you will get 252 inches squared. Then I have to find the area of that little rectangle. That's the cutout. 7 times 13 will give you the answer of 91 inches squared. And you subtract. When it's a cutout, you subtract. So 252 minus 91, 161 inches squared. Are there any questions on that? All right. Now we have the circle garden, and we're trying to find the area of the shaded part. Well, you take the area of the big circle and then subtract the area of the little circle from it. So it's big circle minus little circle. Okay? Big circle, my radius for the big circle is 22 feet. So that's going to be 3.14 times 22 squared. So 22 times 22, 484. So you take 484 times 3.14. That'll give you 1,579 and 8/10 if you round it. 1,519 and 8/10. Did everyone get that? Now I find the area of my little circle. 3.14 times 8 squared, that's 64. So 64 times 3.14 gives you the answer 296 hundredths. Well, when you round it, that'll give you 201.0. 201.0. Why? Because 200.96, when you round it to the tenths, the 6 turns the 9 into a 10. So then you add a 1 to that, and that's how you get 201.0. You see that? Now we subtract 8 decimal point. 9 minus 1 is 8. 1 minus 0 is 1. 5 minus 2 is 3. And the answer is 1,318 feet squared because it's area. Any questions on that? Now we're finding the volume of each thing. Here, you just find the volume of each cylinder and add them together. So I have for this one, the volume formula for a cylinder equals pi r squared times the height for each one of these. Big B, it's a circle, so it's pi r squared times the height. So for the first one, I'm going to have 3.14. 9 times 9 is 81 times the height of 17. Okay? For the second one, 3.14 times, my radius is 15. 15 times 15, 225. And the height of that one is 18. And then I just add those two answers together. So let me go ahead and do the answers here. So 12,717 is my volume for this one. 12,717. And for my top one, its volume 4,323.8. Is that what you have for your numbers? Yeah. Just add them together now. And we have 8, 10, carry a 1, 4, 10, carry a 1, 7, 17,040 and 8/10 inches cubed because it's volume. Any questions on that? Now, for this one, you find the volume of each shape. For cylinders, volume is length times width times height. I'm going to start with my bottom one. For the bottom one, it's going to be 4 times 28 times 37. So when I put that in my calculator, 4 times 28 times 37, I get 4,144. Now I'm going to find the volume of this one. Length times width times height. So it's 20 times 25. Now you can change the order, it doesn't matter. Times 3. 20 times 25 times 3, 1,500. And for my top one, 4 times 10, it's going to be 4 times 10 times 9. 4 times 10 is 40 times 9, 360. Is that what you have? Yeah. Then you add them all together. $360 plus 1,500. Did you get 6,004? Yeah. So the volume of this whole shape equals 6,004 meters cubed. Any questions on that? Now, the hardest part is to make sure you put the right numbers in the calculator. If you have time, you should always double check your calculations. Another thing I found on your quizzes, let's say you had this all written down. Some of you forgot to multiply by 3. You had it written down on your paper, but you forgot to multiply by 3 on your calculator. It happens a lot with circles. where you have it all written down, but you didn't put in the right things on your calculator. And I can tell real easily, it's usually you forget to multiply something by 2, or you forget to divide something by 2. And it's like, oh, that's what you did. Any questions on this page? Yes?
So for the one next to the stack,
Yeah.
the cylinder,
This one?
yes. So when you added, did 3.14 times 9 squared times 17, I got,
What did you get for 9 squared?
for 9 squared, I got 81.
Okay, good.
So, but I got 4,323.87 because I didn't round that.
You had 8, I think I had 7, 8 on my calculator, and I rounded it to 8. Okay, so you just kept it exact and didn't round it. That's fine. You have .78.
Because that caused me to get 17040.9.
Okay.
Because of that.
That would be, I would be lenient on that. Now, on the test, it's multiple choice, so if you're off one, you'll want to choose the answer that's the closest, depending on how you rounded or kept them exact. Okay? Most of the things are multiple choice or drop-in boxes where you choose an answer. Okay, now let's go to the paper here. I had the answer sheet, but I think I loaned it to someone when we were working on something, so I don't have all the answers, but it won't take me long to go over this with you, okay? So get this paper out.
Well, you didn't want to do the time code of this?
You had to do the first 10. I'm going to grade the first 10, and then I'm going to have you work on this. It's yesterday's paper. We're not going to go doing the word problems. I want to do this first. Okay, there are questions like this on your test. I want to make sure you know how to do them. Okay. On paper, I would suggest you always write down your radius is 100. That means your diameter is 200. Before you even start reading questions, it just helps you focus and look at what you have. Now I'm going to the question. The diameter, C, 200 centimeters. What is the radius? Well, that's easy. A, 100 centimeters. What is the circumference of the circle? It's pi times diameter. So the diameter is 200, so that'll be 3.14 times 200, and the answer should be one of those there, 3.14 times 200, and it is 628 centimeters. Remember, circumference is just centimeters. Number 4. Now this one is easy, and there is a question, at least one, on the test like this. What is the area of the circle in terms of pi? Here, they want you to just keep the pi symbol instead of multiplying it out. Well, you know that the area of the circle is pi r squared. So you're going to keep pi, and your r squared, 100 times 100 is 10,000. Okay, so, or if you just have 10,000 next to the pi. Well, which one of it looks like it? It's this one. Because of the commutative property, it doesn't matter which, if you put it in front or behind. Okay? Does everyone see that there is a problem on the test like that? Everyone understands that? Good. Number 5, if you are going to paint the bottom of a circular pool and you want to know how much paint is needed, which of the following would you need to find? Well, just the bottom of a circular pool, the only thing you need is the area of a circle. For the bottom of the pool, they're not painting the sides, it's the area of a circle. Okay? Now, if you wanted to deal with putting water in the pool, then you're dealing with volume. But it didn't say water in the pool, did it? No. If you are going to fill a circular pool with water, and you want to know how much water is needed, which of the following would you need to find? I just told you. Volume of a cylinder. The pool is round, so it's the volume of a cylinder. Now, there are only 2 choices. Is pi rational or irrational, kids? It's irrational. It's an irrational number. It goes on forever. Now, on number 8, Marie is putting a fence around a square flower garden. Each side of the garden is 12 feet long. Okay, so I'm going to draw a picture here. It's square, and each side is 12. Does Marie need to find the perimeter or the area for the amount of fencing? She's going to need to find perimeter. Fencing goes around, it's not the inside. Why? Fencing goes around the garden. Okay, it's not what's inside the garden. Now, each 6-foot long section of fence is $50. How much will Marie spend on the fence before taxes? Well, my perimeter is 12 times 4, because there are 4 sides that are 12, will give you 48. How many 6s are in a 48? So she needs 8 6-foot sections. She needs 8 6-foot sections. How much is each section? $50. So now you'll have 8 times $50, and she's going to need $400 before taxes. So that's the answer. Do you see how I showed my work? It does say show the work. So I showed 48 is the perimeter, 48 feet. Divide it by 6 because they come in 6-foot long sections. She needs 8 of them. They're $50 a piece. Do you see those steps in showing the answer? Find the area of the circle. Use the formula shown. Okay, on your test they've got the formulas typed in. Formula for area of a circle, area pi r squared. Now if my diameter is 10, what's the radius? 5. Notice how doing that will help you to remember what to put down here. Area equals 3.14 times 5 is 25. So then you just do 3 1400 times 25, and you get 78 5/10 centimeters squared. Any questions? Number 10. Find the circumference of the circle from number 9. Write the formula and do your substitution and label. So the formula, I use the formula pi, okay? And the substitution will be A equals 3.14 times 10. This is an easy one. So the area is 31.4 centimeter, or not area. These are all circumferences, aren't they? Circumference, circumference. The circumference is 31 4/10 centimeters. Any questions? Now that's what you were supposed to have completed for class. Now, there is not a shape like number 11 on your test. There is a shape like number 11 would be, it's a 6th grade standard, so there could be a shape like this on Clear Sight next week or on iLearn because that's a 6th grade standard. Number 12, that has a half circle. That could be something you would see on a 7th grade test, so do that one. But right now, what I want you to go to next is would be to do 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. If you have not done those, do them now. I'm going to give you back your quizzes, and so do this paper next, and there's question 18 too. So do these problems next, and then if you have them finished, you can work on the word problems on the paper that you picked up as you entered the room. Okay, so this is problem number 13. Let's look at how we do this. It is a surface area of a cylinder. The formula. Well, when you take a cylinder apart, you're going to find the area of 2 circles and the rectangle. So the formula for one circle is pi r squared. It's 2 pi r squared plus, that is the area of 2 circles. Now we have to find the area of the rectangle. Well, it's length times width. The length is pi times diameter. Now, the height is the distance between the circles. It's 12. We label that's 4. Pi times diameter. My radius is 4. The diameter is 8. Once again, just writing that down just helps with your formulas so much. So for the area of the rectangle, it's pi times 8 times 12. Does everyone see how I got that? It might be a good idea for you to write that down when you are doing the test. Now my radius squared, it's going to be 4 squared. That's 16. So 2 times, oh look, I already substituted up there. It should be pi times diameter times the height. Excuse me. So now I do the substitution. 2 times 3.14 times 4 squared is 16 plus 3.14, the diameter is 8, the height is 12. Then, to get your answer, (148 plus 301 44 Now, on the test it doesn't say round, so keep it exact. Notice how it doesn't say round, so that's what it, please keep it exact. And the answer is 401 92 feet squared because it's surface area. Any questions on that problem? Now, yes, yes, find the volume. The formula for the volume is area of the base times the height. Well, in this case, it's a circle. Pi r squared times the height. On your quiz yesterday, some of you didn't write down the right things, so make sure you know what to do. So, 3.14 r squared, I already did it here. 4 times 4 is 16 times the height is 12. Volume will equal 3.14 times 16 times 12, 602 and 88 feet cubed. Any questions? Did everyone get that for their answer? Yes. No, I just said, if it doesn't say round, keep it exact on the test, okay? You'll notice as you continue on in mathematics, they keep things exact because you use calculators so much and they don't want you to round until maybe the very end. Okay, so if it doesn't say round, don't round. Now, let's go on to number 15. Any questions on that? Okay, find the surface area of the rectangular prism. The formula, 2 times length times width plus 2 times length times height plus 2 times width times height. So I'm going to say this is my length, my width, and my height. So I have 2 times 20 times 14 plus 2 times 20 times 13 plus 2 times 14 times 13. Be careful when you put the numbers in the calculator to make sure you get the right thing. So on the, you'll have 560 plus 520 plus 364. And when you add those together, you get 1,444 centimeters squared. Is that what you have for that one? Any questions? Use the rectangular prism to calculate the volume. Volume equals length times width times height. So the volume is 20 times 14 times 13. And you get 3,640 centimeters cubed. Any questions on that? In number 17, Paul bought a sandbox for his kids and he wants to fill it with sand. A box is 4 feet long, 4 feet wide, and 1 foot high. Each bag of sand contains 5/10 of a cubic feet and costs $2.80 each. Justify whether Paul needs to find the surface area or the volume. What does he need to find, kids? Volume. Okay, now let's continue with the problem. How much will Paul pay for the sand before tax? So, we are going to find the volume. It's going to be 4 times 4 times 1. So the volume is 16 cubic feet. Now, each bag of sand contains 0.5 cubic feet. How many bags of sand is he going to need? Well, for that part, it's 16 divided by 0.5. In your calculator, 16 divided by 0.5 is 8. Whoops, that's not right. 16 divided by 0.5, 32. I knew 8 wasn't right. It is 32 bags, or 30 each bag. So he needs 32 bags. Do you see how I got 32 bags? Now, we want to know how much it's going to cost. What's the next step that I do? Yes. Right, each bag is $2.80. 32 times $2.80 will give us the answer of how much it's going to cost. It'll be $89. Ooh, that's pretty expensive. $89.60 for just the sand to put in the sandbox. That must be really good sand for his kids. So they, yeah, I keep it covered so no cat comes and does its business in your cat and make it a litter box. We don't want that. Any questions? Yes. We have a question, class.
Looking at number 15, it's kind of hard for me to tell the difference between the length and the width.
That's why I label it. Now listen, if you call this the length and this the width, it's still not going to change your answer as long as you are consistent. So what I do is I label them length, width, height. If you wanted to say width, length, height, that's okay. Or if you wanted your height to be your length. Because if you turn this box on its side, then you would have length, width, and height differently, wouldn't you? So it doesn't matter as long as you are consistent. This can't, if this is the length and part of the problem, it's got to be the length in every one of these formulas. You can't say in this one that's the length, in this one the length is 13. You've got to be consistent of what you determine your length is and you'll be fine. Gavin.
Can I use the restroom, please?
Yes. Now, this one you just find the volume. How much soup will the can hold? You just take pi r squared times 1.5 and that will give you the answer to the problem. Now I'm going to give you your test because the test is rather long tomorrow. I want you to put your name on it and at least start one problem so that way you are started, and then tomorrow after lunch, we will not have a review. We're going to go straight into doing the test. Any questions? All right.